Do you want to know how to print on Roland BN-20A Uncut and Siser Romeo? Let me show you how to do that. So let me jump right into it. So as you can see here, I'm in Leonardo software, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a file that I'm going to print. Before I do so, I'm going to go ahead and set up my page size, which is what I did to on the right. And then just to get my canvas ready to create my file. So I'll go on over to file, and then I will add the files that I would like to cut. And as you can see here, I'm just following the steps of attaching each photo that I'm going to use to the canvas. So I added the first one, going back in to add this second one. And pretty much it's gonna be so easy, guys. You're gonna be like, wow, this is easy to do. So I'm adding in the second picture, and yeah, this is what we're doing. All right, now that I've added in the second picture, as you can see, the registration marks are around the picture. Once you move the picture, the registration mark move with it as well, as you can see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate the picture by just copy and pasting each picture, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to use up as much space of the area that I'm going to be printing on, so I won't lose too much of my media or my paper or material, whatever you're about to be printing on. So I'm just moving around each of them. After I duplicate them, I'm going to have 3 of each photo. I know it looked like the same person, but it is not. They are twins, but they're not identical twins. So moving them around and just getting them set up. Going to be resizing them as well. So once I get them set up, as you can see here, yep, I should have just used my regular mouse instead of this trackpad, but alright, so I have all the pictures in. So what I'm going to do now is change also, yeah, that's what I did. I resized the picture. I did say I was going to resize the picture, so I should have kind of like speed through this part, but I just wanted you guys to see what I'm doing. So I'm just resizing the pictures. And as you can see, did you look up to the left hand side? You see the margin, not the margin, but the registration mark turns red. That's because I'm out of the printable area. So once I resize the pictures, I'll move it, and we'll be right back into the printable area. So I'm just quickly resizing the pictures, moving them around, putting them as close to each other as possible. So yeah, so let's go ahead and finish that up. Once I finish that up, you're gonna see that I'm gonna move the pictures back to where the registration will be back on the canvas. There we go. So once it's back on the canvas, so you realize now that the registration marks are now black and no longer red. So because we're in a printable area. Alright, so, and I'm only going through this so that, guys, if you see that happen, don't panic. You could always just move it around and get your pictures back in the printable area. So now that I have everything in the printable area, As you can see, what I'm doing now is I'm going to resize my canvas mat so that I'll be able to print on my Roland BN-20. So there's a list of printer, but I chose the Roland BN-20 because I wanted to change the paper size, and which I used the Arc B or Arch B, and hit OK. So now it's to the size that I would like it to print on my Roland. So I'm sending it to the printer, as you can see. Send it to the printer here, but guess what? I'm not going to be printing. I'm going to be saving this as a PDF file. Okay, this is how I'm going to bring it over to my VersaWorks for my Roland. So I'm going to save it right now, and I've already had the file saved, so I'm just going to resave it over it, as you can see. So I'm saving it, hit OK. Voila, it's saved. All right, and then I'm going back out. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to upload it in VersaWorks. So yeah, stay tuned so I can show you how to do that. So now I'm in VersaWorks, and I am going to go ahead and go to File and add it into a queue, and I'm going to add it into QA. So I've added into QA. Now usually you'll see where it says special items, you'll see the letter A, because you'll have your, it will show that, you know, you have your cut marks around it, but you won't have to worry about that because remember we're going to cut into the Siser Romeo. So what I'm doing is just changing the orientation, and I'm putting it into draft mode because this, I'm just doing this for a video. And then so I just wanted it to print at the fastest speed. Then I changed the media type. Yeah, and changed, because once you change the media type, everything kind of flushed back out. So I changed the media type, did all of that. So I'm back on the front page. So I'm going to go ahead and hit print, and I'm going to print it on my Roland BN-20A. I do this process just because the Roland prints so and cut is so slow. Now that it's finished printing, now it's time to send to cut. So before we send to cut, of course, I have to line up the vinyl inside the Siser Romeo. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press the lever up. We're going to insert it in. Once we insert it in and have it flushed to the bottom, we're going to go ahead and we're going to close back down the lever. Once we close back down the lever, we're going to use the up and down arrow keys, and we're going to make sure that the blade is lined up to the bottom left of the registration mark, as you can see. So that's what I'm doing here. I am lining up the blade by using the up and down arrow key, and then we're going to go ahead, once we get that set up, now we're going to hit send to cut. So now that we're finished cutting, it is time to go ahead and weed off. So let's go ahead and weed this off with my special little weeding tool. Let's go ahead and rip it off. As we rip it off, yay, looks great to me. You're gonna see little white lines, but those white lines I wanted there because I'm working on something that need the white lines. So that's the reason why you see the white lines. So let's not worry about that. I think it did a good job. Just don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.